Hello pioneers, welcome back to Satisfactory. Now another somewhat fillery sort of episode at this time. Just going to show off. Just been doing computers here. Now I'm doing something I haven't done before with computers, and that is I found this alternate recipe, the Caterium computer. Circuit boards, quick wire and rubber. And as far as circuit boards go, Caterium circuit boards, plastic and quick wire. Basically that means I've got this entire thing just running off two resources, just oil and Caterium. So if we have a look way down there, that's a pure Caterium node, slightly overclocked, so it's making a whole bunch of ingots. And then if I come down here without falling too far, just brings them up here and splits them off into three separate things here. One for the computers themselves, one for the circuit boards that go to the computers, and one for the circuit boards that's going into storage. Now this is splitting evenly, they're not being used evenly, but I will show you what they are doing. So we've got one here using 37.5 quick wire a minute. Those ones are going into storage. These four, 7 circuit boards a minute using a total of 120 quick wire a minute. And then the other ones up the top there, that's going directly into the computer manufacturer here, using 112 a minute. I am actually slightly overproducing the amount of quick wire that I need. That is not a problem, it just means they'll sort of fill up and the miner won't actually be running at 100% efficiency, but that doesn't matter. What this means is that everything will get filled up nicely, nothing will starve for resources, everything's getting the amount that it needs. We've got plastic and rubber, there's oil over there, so we've got plastic and rubber coming up here. And essentially the same thing, the plastic is being divided up into two lots. One small amount goes into there, and the larger amount going to these four. These four, of course, making a total of 7 each, so it's 28, slightly underclocked, 28 per minute, because that's exactly how many this needs. And then, of course, the rubber is only used for this, so that's just coming straight into here. I am also slightly overproducing the plastic and the rubber. Once again, primarily so things just fill up. Nothing starves, nothing is lacking any particular resources. Now if we head down here somewhere, I mean it's right in front of me there. So over here we've got two normal oil nodes that I've tapped. These are also slightly overproducing, but again it's just so that I don't run out of anything. So those are running at full speed, producing 120 oil a minute each. I've got them coming up into some rows of refineries here. They're only using 90 each out of the 120 each. So this is making this one's making the plastic, and this one's making the rubber. Now, because these are slightly overproducing, I do actually have to have this backup system here. So I've got some smart splitters there. When the conveyors fill up, as they are wont to do, any excess will come down here and get sunk. If I don't do that, then the whole system clogs up and everything stops being produced, which is not directly a problem. But the thing about plastic and rubber, as we've already discovered, they produce this heavy oil residue as a byproduct, and I have to get rid of that as well. So to do that, that's coming over here, being turned into fuel. And by an amazing coincidence, it produces exactly enough fuel for these fuel generators. Each of those burns 12 per minute and produces 150 megawatts. So that's 750 spare megawatts. That's why we don't want things to slow down and stop and get clogged up. Because if they did, well, I mean, I don't need that power specifically. But, you know, there's always... You can never have too much electricity. So, that is the computer... circuit boards in computers. It's fairly simple. But just before I hit record, I also fired up my heavy modular frame factory. The thing about heavy modular frames in computers are basically my current stumbling blocks for progress in the game. So now that I've got them going, we should be able to continue on. But let me just run over to my heavy modular frames and we'll see how we are going. Right, so over here we've got a pure iron node down here, and that leads off to pure coal node, which is making some solid steel ingots in there. There's just a little bit of iron and copper. Technically I could not even need the copper if I was using the iron wire alternate recipe, but I've got the copper available, so why not? And over there, and somewhere else, I've got some limestone. The other one is... I don't remember. There's two of them over there, actually. There's one sort of back there somewhere, behind that. Alright, so... this iron is coming in to make iron ingots, and that's combined with the coal to make steel ingots. Now we don't actually need a whole lot of, aside from the coal, which needs a lot of iron, but the other direct iron only needs 30 ingots a minute, and in fact I'm not even sure if I only need 15 copper ingots, but the reason I kept these two irons separately is basically for purposes of expanding in the future. I will definitely need more heavy modular frames than I'm currently making. The only question is whether I expand the factory here or make more somewhere else, depending on where I need to send them. But with this one here, I can just keep it separate and expand them both individually. It saves balancing the load, splitting things up. Essentially is what I did that for. We got a lot of limestone, and again I broke my own rule of belting the lower number of items per minute. Ended up this time it wasn't for aesthetic purposes. The only reason is purely because I forgot. I was so engrossed in building the factories up the top there that I just completely didn't even think to construct the concrete down here and belt that up. So that is purely the only reason that I'm belting the limestone. And then finally when we get up the top, so coming up here and being distributed to various machinery. Now, heavy modular frames with the alternate recipes I'm using pretty much only uses steel pipes and concrete. The other iron and wire is because you also need a few reinforced iron plates, with which I'm using the stitched iron plate alternate recipe. Looks like I have done something wrong, but I'll figure that out off camera. Anyway, everything's coming up here. We've got a whole rows of stuff. We've got concrete, We've got steel pipes. We've got... That is not making anything apparently. But once again, I'll figure it out. Obviously the belt's not connected properly because it was definitely coming up. Anyway, iron plates here. And that's all the stuff we need to make at that level. Then we've got encased industrial pipes, which is use steel pipes and concrete to make encased beams. Got a row here of the iron and wire making the reinforced iron plates. This takes those reinforced iron plates and some steel pipes to make modular frames. And then this is making the heavy modular frames. It takes the modular frames, encased beams, steel pipes and concrete. Obviously it's not working properly. So let's just start by checking down here. So we've got copper ingots there. Steel ingots, copper ingots, iron ingots. So things are flowing there, but they don't appear to be going across any further. Or maybe I'm just running out. No, they're definitely going through. Because these are coming up at 30 a minute here. You can tell... Well, they look pretty close to 30 a minute anyway. It's not 60 a minute, which the belt would take, but... It seems to have just paused for some reason. And I'm really not sure why it would do that. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. I just... see, there's some more wire stuff going there. I just wanted to show that it had been done. See, it's definitely has got some up here. Just I'm not sure why it stopped getting things up here. And they're coming again. And they're coming at full speed. Okay, I don't understand why that just stopped. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on it. But that's not something I need to subject you lot to. The point is, we now have computers and heavy modular frames. As soon as my belts catch up to my production. So I guess that's about it for this episode. So I guess I'd just like to thank you all very much for watching. And I will talk to you again in the next one.